So, once you have your cube, your first step to solving it is going to be making the yellow daisy. The yellow daisy is a cross with white edge pieces with a yellow center in the middle. So you can just turn your cube accordingly and examine the sides and see what you can do to make the cube have the daisy. Once that step is done, you're going to be doing something called tearing the petals. To tear the petals, you have to match each edge piece on the white. As you can see, this one is white and blue. And turn it so that it matches with its center. In rare cases, all of them might be matched. But in this case, I only have two. To tear off the petal, you're going to move it in any direction 2 times so that it goes to the bottom. Then you're just going to do that with every other petal. Now you're going to be solving the white face. And that's how you get the yellow cross. Oh, sorry, not yellow, the white cross. To solve the white cross, you're going to find the white corner pieces. These white corner pieces have 2 other colored pieces on them. In this case, it's blue and red. So, you're going to move it so that it's in the corner in between the blue and the red. Then you're going to do a move called the right trigger for the same amount of times until that white corner piece is in its right place. The right trigger goes like this: right clockwise, up clockwise, right counterclockwise, up counterclockwise. Then you just keep repeating that until your white corner piece is in the right spot. Okay, and once you get the hang of this, you can do it as fast as you want, really. And then you continue your steps until it's solved on the white face. When you finish solving the white face, it should have a little T in front of each side of the cube besides the yellow. Now you're going to do a very important step that solves the second layer. You're going to solve your focal points. Your focal points are places like these. Pretty much just edge pieces with, well, not with, just on the yellow side. You're going to use the focal points that don't have yellow on them. You can't use this focal point because it clearly has yellow on it. But you can use this one since it doesn't have yellow on it. So you're going to turn it accordingly so that it faces toward its little T, making it a bigger T. Then you have to memorize these moves and words too. Away, move the edge piece away from the color. So, if the other color on this focal point is blue, and blue is on the right side, then you move it away from the right. 2, bottom. The bottom moves right. Then, column. The right column will go down. And then D stands for delicious meat. And I don't know why they did this, but you're just supposed to turn the middle of the Rubik's Cube toward the other color. And then E stands for everything goes back up. On the right column, everything will go back up. And one part of your second layer will be finished. F stands for find and fix your whites. If you did it right, you're supposed to have a combination with your whites that looks like this. To solve this combination, you have to do these following moves. You have to take the right side down, move the back clockwise, take both of the sides down. Oh, dang it. Move the up piece to the middle so that you get a straight line. Then you move this back up. This won't affect any of the work you just did. So don't be worried. Then you're just going to keep repeating these steps until you have your second layer solved. And once you get enough practice, it's going to be easy as a breeze to finish these steps.
Hello, this is Anupa Roshan.
Now, in cases like these, you might have all the focal points are yellow. That either means you finished your second layer, or you just need to troubleshoot it. And how to troubleshoot it is a question asked by many. What you're going to do is you have to find an open space in the T's. Then you're going to find a color that matches with that T. Then you have to repeat those steps in the direction of the space between the T and the focal point. Anyways, once you are done with the second layer, it is time to solve the yellow cross. There are 3 kinds of problems you can get with the yellow cross. I wouldn't really call them problems, I would call them cases. You can get a single dot with absolutely nothing around it besides corner pieces, which we'll just ignore. Then you can get something called a boomerang, which kind of just looks like an L shape. Then you can get the line, which in my case, I have it. For the dot, you just do front and then the right trigger and then undo that front move. For the boomerang, you have to make it so that the L faces the top left corner of the Rubik's Cube. Then for the line, you just make sure the line is oriented horizontal, and then you do the front and then right trigger. Then you should get any combination that the cube gives you, and you know you did it right if it has some kind of yellow cross. Now you're going to solve the yellow side. To solve the yellow side, it's kind of like solving the white side. You look for the corners, you pay attention to their colors, and you move them to the right places. And the right places will be where their colors match the centers. And you're going to be able to get 4 corners correct, which means you're absolutely done with the step. 2 corners correct, or 1 corner correct. Sometimes even no corners correct at all. So if that's the case, then you're just going to match up as many as you can and do the following moves. Up, right, up counterclockwise, left counterclockwise. Then you're going to do the same thing, but downwards. That should be able to move it in the right places. Unless you did it wrong. And don't be almost sad that you did it wrong. You can always do it again. And an important thing to do when you are doing this step is to make sure that the solved corners are in the back right or back left. Maybe even both if you have two solved. Then that's when you have to do the move. Then you can move it left or right, whichever way makes it, so that the yellow corners go in the right places. Then you turn the cube upside down and you do the right trigger to each of these corners until they get into the right spot. But instead of turning the whole cube, you're going to want to just turn the bottom. If you turn the whole cube, it'll mess things up. Then you can have 3 cases. The 3 cases are that you have 3 sides solved, which is my case. The white, the yellow, and any other color. In my case, that any other color is green. That means you have a jump start on this. Then you're going to have a combination that the blue has orange. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. The blue can have red as well. And the red can have blue. But that only happens if the blue has orange. The orange has red though. So this combination really doesn't matter. It just matters the moves you do with it. There's also one more case where all of the sides have this edge piece that makes it look like it's not solved. So you have only 2 sides solved, the white and the yellow. So in any of those cases, you have to memorize these words. Flip, clock times 3. By clock and counter, clock stands for clockwise and counter stands for counterclockwise. So memorize these words. Flip, clock, 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 counter, 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 clock, counter. To make it easier to memorize it like this. Flip, clock x3, clock x5, clock counter. By flip, I mean to do a whole 180 flip. You know you did the whole 180 flip when the right part has white on it instead of yellow. So in the cases that you have 3 sides solved, you're going to do this so that the solved part is in the back. If there's no other side solved besides white and yellow, then you do this algorithm anywhere. And there are 2 more words you need to memorize, right and top. That's supposed to be the pattern you do it in. You flip it on the right, you do 1 clockwise turn on the top, clockwise turn on the right, clockwise turn on the top. Then a counterclockwise turn on the right, counterclockwise turn on the top, counterclockwise turn on the right, counterclockwise turn on the top, counterclockwise turn on the top, right. And then you have to do the clock counter. The top goes clockwise and the right goes counterclockwise. So I'm going to do those steps now. Counter. And there are other cases that when you finish the yellow side with just a turn, you can solve the whole cube. But that's not likely. Anyways, thank you for watching my video. And please like and subscribe. And I want to give special thanks to JPerm and Easiest Solve for teaching me, both of them teaching me how to solve a Rubik's Cube. Goodbye.